All right, guys, welcome to another edition of Ram at the Fights. We're back in the studio or basement since a good weekend of fights. I really want to take a minute before presenting my next guest to appreciate for the support lately, all the people. I'm really surprised and really mean a lot. So thank you, everybody. I will remind you to subscribe to the channel, like the interview. And my next guest is a returning guest. I really appreciate him to be here today. We last saw him in May 30 against Diaz Jeren Gaipov on Brave. It was this fight was in Tenerife, Spain. His name is Jose Shorty Torres, Chicago's finest. How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's been a journey, and I really appreciate that poster back there. I appreciate the love of support. I'm in my basement too, slash studio, so I get it, it's a process. But man, also, yeah, to the people when you're saying subscribe, trust me, it goes a lot like so one little subscription goes so much farther than what people think. Like especially on YouTube, and I have my own YouTube channel too. I have a couple, and it struggles because people sometimes will like, but dude, that one subscription will keep you from making money or get you making money. So yeah, man, please, especially when people are doing this out of their free will, trying to change their own lives, like subscribe, man. It goes a long way. Even one little subscription.
Yeah, also the people watching subscribe also to Chori's channel too. Yeah, so don't forget about that too. So Chori, man, last fight as I said, May 30, was in Tenerife. Great fight. Controversial decision. Some people saying robbery. Close call. Your thoughts on that on the fight?
I'm disappointed. Obviously, at the end of the day, I have to blame myself because I left it to the judges. But it was weird, man, because it's not Bray's fault, but it is Bray's fault. It's like the UFC as well, where they can't hire a commission because the commission is there, but they can figure out the better judges out of the few. And sometimes when you go to a place that has a new commission or they're all volunteer guys. They're figuring stuff out becomes complicated. So, and it leads to situations like this to where for me, dude, I was gonna buy a building. I was gonna buy an apartment complex, and for MMA fighters, we make money to fight and we make money to win. I had the money for the apartment complex, but I didn't have any breathing room. I was hoping that I won, and then I'm like, oh, cool, I could buy this, be comfortable, be fine for the most part until whenever my next fight may be. But then I lost, and it was one of those Scooby-Doo moments where it was like, like everyone during the call and even after the fight was just like, dude, you won the fight, and the thing that upsets me, and again, I robberies happen. I've been sadly robbed before in a brave fight, and it happens. Like that was for a title. I'm like, you know what, man? Some people were saying he won, some people were saying I won. Cool, it is what it is. But this one, no one said he won, and I'm like, oh well, nothing I can do. The thing that makes me upset, and I was really really upset after was, um the people in the promotion, in Brave and Fight to One, that weren't the judges, came to me and they're like, Shorty, you won again, went out of their way and came to me and go, Shorty, you won that fight. Man, you should appeal this. You won that fight. It's a robbery, this, then. I'm like, I don't know how appeals work, but okay. And so I put in an appeal thinking worst comes to worst, it'd be a no contest, and then later on in the year we'll rematch. Because again, it's not my opponent's fault, it's the judges. My opponent's just doing his job just like me. We're fighting. And so all respect to him. But the fact was, I had to wait, 10 days to get the appeal results back. And dude, the same people that told me I won the fight were the new judges on this commission or whatever commission they called it. And they said I lost. And I'm like, how are you be a jackass and go to
Yeah.
my face and tell me I won, went out of your way to tell me all these things and then give me hope and then nothing happens. So from what I hear, I mean Brave, UFC, all these different promotions, they're the same way where they don't want to be wrong and they don't want to have to reverse the decision and flip it. They honestly rather have the controversy of going, you know what, man, we believe he won. Hey, it would be a fun rematch and then maybe a trilogy one day if that, comes to be. So I'm just waiting, man. That's who I want next, but I'm ready for whatever opportunity comes. For me, I was hoping for the money. So for me, I just want to fight and continue a legacy. And it sucks when you work overtime and you don't get paid for it. So it's a process, man.
Yeah, it's hard, and for me, I follow you. People who follow you know how hard you work, man, and it's truly heartbreaking. I saw the fight. I'm not gonna be like biased, but it's what is you revisit the fight, is what it was, Chori, I think he did more than enough to win the decision. You work his body. I like the a lot of body shots that you got him. That led to also some head strikes too, because your feints were awesome too. So what I'm guessing was like what he did, like he did a slam. Probably the George just got impressed by a slam, like and the entertainment factor, because other than that, it was like he didn't. After that, he didn't do an over follow, right?
Well, the thing that bothers me, so the first fight that I believe that got robbed was my trilogy fight with Nkosi and Debele. And I controlled out of 25 minutes, went to decision, I controlled, I believe, 15 to 17 minutes of ground time, and I had control time. So worse is worse. Dude, that's 3 rounds right there, a little more than 3 rounds. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now he landed a couple more strikes and the more significant strikes. So I'm like, all right, worst comes to worst. I know for sure he won one of the rounds. And I was like, worst comes to worst, I'll give him 2 rounds. But I won it. I'm not worried about it. But we were in Africa. And then they gave the decision to him. And I'm like, I get wrestling isn't the most entertaining thing, but I did have some fun slams. I carried him, all the way across the cage. And I thought I won. And I'm just like, okay, well, I got to change my style a little bit. And so I made it more stand up. And then this fight, he took me down twice in the first round. So I'm like, okay, cool. He won the first round. Not at all, rebuting that. But then the second round, he got a takedown, but we were on this ground for maybe 5, 10 seconds. Then I got up and I escaped, and the rest of the round, 4 minutes, it's just me punching him on his heels, moving and all that stuff. And I almost dropped him at the end of the round. So I'm like, cool. I got round two, and then round three, it was for sure my round. But at the end of it, I'm like, wait, so you're telling me my first fight, or excuse me, my trilogy fight with Nkosi, I didn't win because of the wrestling. Then this next fight, I lose because of the
Right.
wrestling. When he had no control time and no like, dude, I looked at it as if you're just a regular person looking at two people face to face and you didn't get to watch the fight, but you look at them, you go, oh no, that guy won because this guy's black and blue. He looks beat up. He's kind of curling over. I'm just like, and I went home perfectly fine. So for me, it really is more of a mental warfare because physical stuff, I'll get over it. Like I'll heal, but the mental stuff of one, the fight wasn't promoted too well, so people were like, "Dude, so when are you fighting again?" I'm like, "I just got back home, like I just fought." And then two is, ah. Man, we thought you won the fight. I'm like, I was kind of hoping not to talk about this because you're just bringing it up over and over and over. It's like if somebody dies and they go, hey brother, my condolences. A month later, hey brother, my condolences. You're like, leave me alone, So it's a process, but man, the worst of the worst, the positivity. I get to fight another day. I'm healthy and hoping that Brave gets to put me in there soon, or another opportunity comes and we take it one day at a time.
Hopefully, man, and I'm hoping also that it's not like this is me thinking, and correct me if I'm probably
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong, or probably wrong with what I'm gonna say it, but for what you're telling me, your decisions is look like, oh, okay, these upcomings are fighting the veteran, So if it's got to a decision, do you feel that way sometimes? Like, okay, so we had Jose Shorty Torres there. Okay, that's a good name to keep this guy, up on the ladder.
Yeah, it's hard because I am one of, if not the only American, and I get paid very well for my promotion. But I'm only into like the big fights, which is fine. Like, thank you. But for some reason, given again my fault because I'm leaving it to the judges, or I'm not able to finish the fight, so I got to do more. But these really like these calls have been, I think my last 5 fights, besides one, I did lose by cuts and stuff that I couldn't see, so I had to retire in the fight. All those fights beforehand were by the split decision or close decisions, and I'm like, man, I really got to start doing more to finish these fights. So maybe it's me where I don't have the childhood hunger as I did when I first turned professional, or maybe I'm not taking these fighters seriously. But that's something that I, been trying to work on too mentally of like, telling my coach, hey man, you need to, this is the way I'm motivated. Test my ego. Tell me like, oh, you're gonna let that guy do that to you? Like, or dude, Shorty, like you have all this resume. This guy doesn't have anything. Don't look over him. Take him seriously, because if not, you're losing to people who have no names. They're not saying that they're not good fighters. They're phenomenal fighters.
Yeah.
But they're taking your name away from you. So don't be, the that one guy, the Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., where it's like you have the name, but people are just taking advantage of
Uh-huh.
it. So I don't want to be that. So for me, I'm angry, but in a good way where it's like hopefully this changes my style where I become a little more, I wouldn't say reckless, but free of like, you know what, man, let me not overthink of what if he gets a takedown? What if he does this? What if he does that? I need to be confident in my ability and go, it doesn't matter where we go, on the feet, on the ground, whatever the case may be, I'm going to be okay and I'm gonna be better than okay. So, um, it's a learning process, but 32 years old, gonna be 33 this year. I still have plenty of time in this career, but it's like, man, I don't want to waste my time waiting. So for me, I'm already back in training camp in a sense, like, because I'm healthy, and just waiting for Braves to give me a call or another opportunity to see what's next.
In a perfect scenario, you want to return like before the end of the year. We talk, I don't know, October, September, probably. That
I
sounds
mean,
good to you?
perfect scenario. I mean, the one really, really cool thing, given it's not going to happen just because it's already been announced, is the Rising Grand Prix. Dude, that would have
Oh,
been awesome. And they originally wanted me on it, but now they're doing the 8-man tournament and and they only want to Rising contract to fighters. I'm signed with Braves. I'm like, well, there
okay.
goes that opportunity. But um perfect case scenario, is fight Diaz again and shut the world, and show the world like, hey man, I won this first fight. I'm gonna win the second one. And if it comes to a trilogy, because I think respectfully so, then so be it. But we were hoping that I would win and fight Mokai for the flyweight belt. Um, Obviously plans change. So for me, I'm at that point, especially now that I want to get a house. I want to be financially stable. Hopefully one day have some kids. So I don't want to do any of that stuff until I have the money to get what I need so my family in the future is protected. So I just want to fight, man. Yeah, I'm at that point where I was like, if I'm gonna fight in a sense, no names anyways, I don't care, man. Just put me in front of somebody. I make the same paycheck if I fight for a belt for Brave or not. So I just want to fight and go from there and show people how good I really am.
No, no, that's really true, and I agree, and I agree with you, man. And hopefully, I would like to see you get that one, that revenge on Diaz. So, man, before your fight, I wanna let me see if I can get the right sequence. You travel all the way to Mexico, help the camp of Lazy Boy, right? But during the camp, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. You fly, you put a stop and fly all the way to Norway, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And and it looks there that it was colder than Chicago and Milwaukee.
It's crazy because it was like Christmas snow where like everything's beautiful, it's fluffy, you can make snowballs. It was honestly beautiful. The snowflakes were like that thick,
Oh
like it was
wow!
crazy. And it was snowing all day, it never stopped. And it's an everyday thing for them. But it wasn't cold. If to
Oh
us, Milwaukee, Chicago, I'm like, oh man, I'm freezing. We got the
yeah.
lake line, there's a breeze. It was just cold enough to where it could snow and not melt. That was it. But it
Oh.
wasn't cold enough to where it started to freeze. So it was just like, the snow would be there and then new snow would come, but it wouldn't get higher. It was again like a Christmas movie where I was like, dude, this is beautiful. Nothing's messy. No one's, crashing. There's no potholes, no crazy stuff. And it was cool, man, because I do stuff for military, whether I'm hanging out with a veterans group or I'm going overseas and hang out with veterans. Actually, like these are some of the flyers that we get from Armed Forces Entertainment.
Oh okay.
It's me, Brendan Allen, Eric Anders, Charles Rose,
Oh
manager Lex, and Johnny LaQuasa, a comedian, one of the guys who commentates for Titan and XFC. And we just go out and you never know what's gonna happen, with the troops and the bases, especially now with war going on or possible war going
yeah.
on that Man, for example, we did a meet and greet, and we served them as fighters. We served them food, and man, it was a special event. And they got steak, they got all this, really nice things. And if you see now on social media, if you get served lobster, you're probably getting sent out, to a crazy mission, or
Oh
you're gonna have
wow.
to do some crazy stuff pretty soon. So it's like, in a sense, like jail, like your last meal, like, oh, you get to have something you really want. So for us to be able to like hang out and talk to people, and me being able to speak Spanish, there was a Dominican guy that was there, and he's like, oh, dude, I get to speak Spanish. Well, we started talking. So the stories and the reasons why people join the military or to get their citizenship too, especially if they're from the DR or different places or Brazilians. It was cool, man. It was a good time, but Norway was a very, very different world. The only thing that I was sad about that we didn't get to see the Northern Lights. It was snowing
Oh.
every single day, so it was too cloudy, so we couldn't see the Northern Lights, but hopefully next time.
No, man, no. I was watching the stuff you were posting, and it looked amazing there. And it was, and as you said, it looked like you were having a blast there, man, and enjoying the sharing
It's
with the guys and stuff.
It's a good time because you meet, new people, you get to have fun, roll around with new people. You get to try new food, we get to see different places. I've been with AFE since 2016, and I've been to almost all of Europe, a lot of parts of the Middle East. I think next year we might be going to Australia.
Oh,
I've been to Central America because of them. I've been to a lot of places. I've been to Greenland. Like, I never thought I'd go to Greenland, So all these places I've been to is because of AFE, and but it's not even me just saying, "Look, I'm taking a free trip and I'm getting paid for it." Like, when I first did it, I actually thought it was a volunteer thing. I thought like, oh, we're gonna go hang out with some veterans. They're just gonna pay for everything to go, but you don't get paid. I was like, yeah, cool. Like, my coach is a Marine recon. My manager served 2 tours in Somalia in the Marines. Like, so I've been raised by military. So I'm like, yeah, man, I love support. And they're like, oh, here's your check. I'm like, dude, we get paid for this? This is like, I felt like that one kid. I can't remember if it was his road trip or something where he's like, they're like, you get this, we get money, and the guy's like, you guys are getting paid? Like, like that's how I felt. I was like, we get paid for this? This is awesome. So it's a cool thing to do. Obviously it helps me when it comes to a little bit of money, but man, it's not, obviously enough to change my life, but it's a cool thing to be able to hang out with people from around the world that you never knew you'd meet. And I still talk to people on my phone all the time of just messaging me, hey man, where you at now? I'm at, obviously you and I are Puerto Rican. Coincidentally, I always meet somebody from the Caribbean, and oh, what up, Papa? And we just start talking. Like, I met a guy in Macedonia, and now he's in Japan, but he's from Puerto Rico. And
okay.
I start like, okay, you're from here, you're from here. So it's a cool thing to start to get to know people, and it's a good time, man. It's a good time, but a crazy thing to like to see the stuff that's happening now and thinking like, oh man, I wonder if they're okay. Are they gonna be sent out too? So it's a process.
Yeah, man. I mean, my old brother is right now, like, I mean, months ago in a ship in the Middle East. So I'm also like trying not to think a lot on what is going on now, just to like how is he doing, the tensions and stuff. It's hard, man. It's hard, and
Yeah.
it take balls to do
I
that.
I went to two military bases, or I went to a bunch of military bases in Kuwait, and then one in Bahrain, their main one. And I'm just like talking to some of the people in Bahrain because they're in that vicinity. And I'm like, man, hopefully, the US doesn't get too involved to where Iran starts bombing those, US military bases. And I'm like, man, those are a lot of people I know and friends, or even Bahrain is like a second home to me. So the country itself, like, oh man, I know a lot of good people, and it's a crazy thing to know that's happening around the world, and hopefully it doesn't come to this end too, and obviously hoping it ends sooner than later.
Now I'm gonna ask you back to Mexico City. When you were doing the training camp with Lazy Boy, I know you got some visitors from Milwaukee. It was Cristiano Rodriguez there. Then the crew went there. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wanna ask you because I chaired. I'm only a jiu-jitsu guy, but I chaired the gym with them. But I want to ask you specifically about one guy who is just 21 years old, and if you had the chance to see him there train or spar with him, his name is Yasir Ramos. Uh,
He's I believe he's Christian's cousin. Is they call him Yaya.
Yeah, 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 yeah. What you see from him, he just fought this week and he's still undefeated, and I believe he had the potential to go very far in the sport. I just wanna ask you, from what you see from him, what you think of him, and your thoughts.
Yo, it's crazy because they remind me, Christian and Yaya remind me of Anthony and Sergio Pettis. You know, it's like Anthony is the leader, he's the older brother, he's doing this, doing that, and he's creating the road and opportunity for the little brother. And but the little brother is always gonna be just a little bit better, not because he's that much more talented, maybe, but the fact is the big brother's helping and go, hey man, don't do this, you should do that more. You should, practice this because I wish I would have practiced this more. Like they're really helping and guiding. And I think Christian was doing the same thing for Yaya, where he goes, hey man, I'm gonna fight in Mexico City. Come on down, train with us. Oh, Shorty's down there. He's gonna run practices. We can spar with our guys. They can do practices. If you have questions, ask Shorty, and I was able to help both of them a lot. And Christian's a good friend, man. I used to train with him when he was an amateur. I'm like, man, who's this kid? Like he's good. And when I met Yaya, one really nice, kind-hearted kid, really cool. But then two, he was just open. Like he wasn't egotistical. You know, I put him against guys that maybe he was a little bit bigger than, or guys that he was smaller than, but the same pace with everybody. He wasn't hitting too hard. He wasn't the jerk in the gym. Like he was cool, calm, collected. Some rounds he lost, some rounds he won, which is practice. But he always asked questions after. He goes, dude, what are you, and it made me feel good because we were just practicing a wrestling sequence and I was telling my fighters, try it on Yaya. And coincidentally, because I go, man, you try it on me, it's not going to work for the most part because we are practicing and I know what you're going to do. Yaya doesn't know. And Yaya starts getting taken down, and I'm like, yeah. And then he's asking, he's like, hey, man, what are they doing? I'm just like, yeah, it makes me feel good that, he wants to learn. And then the next week, he's practicing with us again, and he's doing it to them. And I'm like, yeah, and he's learning faster, So he's young, he's a sponge. I think him, working with APFC is a phenomenal thing. And you see how good he is. He's still undefeated. He has Christian. He has both Pettis brothers, behind him. I know he trains at Rufus Sport and he has a good team behind him and he's young. And the fun thing about him is that he wants to learn, he wants to fight. And with everyone around him pushing him forward, I feel like he has no choice but to fight. But he's doing his thing and he's learning really, really fast. I'm excited that I believe he wants to come back down to Mexico City with Christian. And hoping they both take advantage of the opportunity and hopefully I get to train with them both again and even teach them some stuff.
Yeah, man. No, thanks. I will try to show him this part of the interview to him because no, man. And he's also one of my favorite guys to interview post fight. we always have a joke or something, you know. But yeah, man. I was gonna ask you too. If you got time. Lazy Boy didn't get the result that we were expecting. When you think what he doing? He's back in training, or when you think he's coming back?
Lazy's been everywhere. I talk to him at least once a week right now just because I'm home with my family. He's back in Mexico City. He's training. His life has been a little crazy right now because of, certain things with, previous relationships before the fight. Obviously the fight didn't go as planned. I think Lazy with and obviously the bad social media press that everyone's like, oh, you were too cocky, you were this, that, maybe, sure, but the fact was he didn't show up that day and it could be a bunch of things. For sure, the weight cut, he's definitely at a weight class that he shouldn't be at, but I mean, I'm at a weight class that I shouldn't be at either, but I'm also at a weight class that I should be at. It's a weird thing because I'm better at this weight class. It just comes with a lot more sacrifices, and that's something I had to learn later and accept after I got released from the UFC because I was always, oh, I gotta do this weight cut. I got last minute weight. I shouldn't be fat in between fights, which I'm still trying to work on now. But I love my mom's house, but that's also why I travel, so I don't eat her food. But it's tough for Lazy. He's home with his family, so obviously his mother's taking care of him, and he invited his mom to live with them, so she's cooking and doing all this stuff for him. So good for him. But you also have people who maybe made him a little too overconfident against stylistically a good opponent for him. And then three, he was in front of his people. Like, what
Yeah.
person doesn't want to do a great knockout finish in front of his crowd? So I think Lazy was just so overconfident, focused too much on the weight cut that it didn't help him perform. And then three, he just was like, nah, man, I'm gonna put on a show for everybody. I got Julio Cesar Chavez walking me out. Like, I'm gonna do everything. And he just never woke up. But for him, because dude, he had a phenomenal camp. So I'm like, it was for nothing. Like but I can say at the end of the day, he's taking some time right now to focus on his family. He's actually having some more kids. I believe he's having twins. So I know
Oh,
he's gonna focus on that. And then um three is the UFC told him like, hey man, you've had some really tough fights. Yeah, obviously we love you, you're popular, you're lazy boy, 2.2 million followers, all that stuff,
yeah.
the fastest growing guy in the UFC, just by name. But they want him healthy. He's 25 years old. Take some time. He's been dropped every single fight more than once.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, take care of your brain because we want you to have a long, prosperous career. So do your thing, focus on your weight when you can, and maybe fight at the end of the year, if not for sure, sometime next year. So he's just, trying to work on himself, and I'm glad that he's such a good promoter that he's really good at taking care of himself when he has so many sponsors now that he makes way more money than from his sponsors than the UFC. So the fighting will come, but he needs to take care of himself, take care of his family, and then when he believes he's ready and the UFC calls again, I think early next year is the best time for him. But he's gonna focus on me a little bit and go from there.
Man, speaking about weight cut, I saw a clip this morning of you. You said you caught 40 pounds.
Yeah,
I was
dude.
like, that. I mean, of course, we have body mass, body muscles and stuff, but like looking at you, I was like, how? Oh my God, I never thought it was so hard.
It's crazy because I mean I don't do these videos. Luckily, the first fight I brought Lazy and he brought his like social media camera crew and I was like, oh, awesome! They're gonna do a video for me in Ryzen, making 130 pounds. And then this last fight, Brave had their own social media guy, media crew that's like, hey, we're gonna follow you around, we want to promote you, all that stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. And both videos came out great. And I'm looking at myself from the video, and even now I was like, wow, there's a big difference. You can see my face. Like now I'm healthy, but man, I was just drained. Um, this was a little bit different. I think fight week I lost 20 pounds, and the day before weigh-ins I lost 12 pounds. No, excuse me. I lost 14 pounds. I lost 14 pounds the day before weigh-ins. I did two workouts, and one workout lasted, I think, 4.5, 5 hours. It's not a fun experience, man. A lot of people don't understand how hard the sport is, and it changed your motivation. The hell, when I lost Alex Perez, I ended up doing, I think, 28 pounds in 21 days after just cutting 28 pounds in 9 days for Jared Brooks in 2 months. So my body wasn't prepared for that. But ultimatums, UFC, it is what it is. And by the time I made weight, I didn't want to fight. I just wanted to go home, So by the time I fought, I was like, oh, that sucks. So I just wasn't there. So the weight cut takes a big toll, and that's something I tell Lazy, man. You have to accept the what you got to do. Like Kayla Harrison just said, it's accepted suffering. You knew what was gonna come with this. You got to push through and keep on walking forward and know that hopefully at the end of the day it'll all be worth it. Or if not, at least worst comes to worst, you tried your best and gave it your all to possibly achieve your dreams.
Well, Chori, I really appreciate you for your time. Having you again here means a lot to me. Any final thoughts or tell the people where they can follow you, other stuff besides fighting that you have upcoming?
Um, I don't have anything going right now. Right now, what my plans are for sure are going to Vegas this Saturday for a few days, visiting friends, family out there, going to Mexico City. I'm cornering two fighters at a fight for Riot next weekend. And then after that, I should be going to another Brave event, cornering some fighters in Bulgaria. And man, I'm everywhere, but people want to follow me, especially like you said, you enjoy my stories. I save my stories and put them to my TikTok so people can rewatch my adventures. Shorty Torres MMA, if you guys enjoy that, please. And it's just a fun time, and I appreciate everyone enjoying the journey. But I hope and I feel that something big's coming soon. I just have to stay positive and just kind of go from there, man. So I'm excited to see what happens next. And I appreciate all the support. And I know you got a poster. You got to after this, send me your address, and I'll send you your shirt size too, and I'll send you a couple things.
Oh man, that will mean a lot, brother. Oh man, yeah, yeah.
Like, like your shirt says, you represent. So I gotta have
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah. uh, do you, hey, I will call out there. Any energy drink out there? This is the guy to sponsor because he's energy, man. He's everywhere, working out, man. So you should be like.
I appreciate that, man. But real quick, fun fact for people who, and giving you, I'm gonna give you free shirts. I want to hook you up because you're my guy. If people end up going to teamshorty.com, go to my shop, 100% of the proceeds go to my foundation, which helps kids, teens, and young adults stay inside the gym and off the streets, whether I'm buying them, gym clothes or gym gear, whether I'm paying for their membership, sending them to different countries or states to go train and do camps, whether I'm sponsoring them for fights, and I sponsor good people, not good athletes. If I know you're paying it forward in the gym and helping others for free and kind of doing your thing, I want to do the same thing and give back to my community. Whether you're in the US or around the world, I'm helping. So teamshorter.com, 100% of the proceeds from all my gear, beanies, hats, t-shirts, whatever comes, goes in my foundation to give back. So I appreciate love and support, man. And hopefully, again, hoping good news very, very soon for all of us.
Well, there you have it, guys. Chori, great fighter, well, a great person outside of the cage too. So make sure you follow him. Enter to his website, buy his merch because it's all going to a good cause. And I will remind again to people like the interview and subscribe to the channel. Thank for the support lately. Last week I have like strangers coming out to me that in a million years, like I imagine that. So, thank you everybody, and thank you, Chori.